Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 people who got caught stealing on camera. So we all know that stealing is wrong, but regardless of this, some people just do it anyway. So here are some people who got caught on camera stealing things. Sometimes these people even got caught by the store employees, but other times they did genius tricks and escaped scot-free. Before we get into it, why not steal that subscribe button and press the notification bell? Coming in at number 10, we have 5-woman hustle. You may think to steal something from a store is pretty easy. You only need one person and they just grab it and walk out. Well, that's not always the case, as those people always get caught. These 5 women, however, decided to do one major hustle. This occurred in a jewelry store located in Iran. 5 women enter this jewelry store, one even holding a baby. 2 of the women then sit up at a counter and mysteriously look around at all the things. They check out various necklaces and bracelets on the shelves. And then they wait for one male customer to leave the store. Watch the woman in the red who sits on that couch. She's looking over as the other women distract the store clerk. You can then see her hand pulling open that display shelf. At one point, the store worker actually comes to do something on the computer right next to this woman, but he does not realize she's opened the shelf. As the 5 women prepare to leave, the woman in red takes a bunch of jewelry from the display shelves. She hides it under her robe, and her accomplices even distract the store clerk by adjusting their robes. This blocks his view and allows these women to make off with a bunch of jewelry. I feel bad for the store clerk in this situation, but then again, he wasn't very observant when she was literally stealing right before his eyes. Next up, we have scarf scam. So this one apparently happened in a jewelry store in Malaysia. The women sitting in this store are all wearing long scarfed clothing. That's a very big cultural thing in Malaysia and many other parts of the world. But did you know that these scarves are any thieves' dream? Watch as these women distract the store clerk. Then pay attention to the woman on the far left. As you can see in plain view of the store clerk, she takes one of the necklaces on a necklace holder. She then sneaks it underneath her scarf and the guy doesn't even realize. Much like in the previous video, her friend makes a distraction. She adjusts her scarf, totally blocking the guy's view of the other woman. This woman then takes her handbag and gets out of there pronto. At the end, it almost looks like the store clerk may have realized and chased these women down. But really, we simply don't know, and I wouldn't be surprised if this guy didn't see them, as these women were smooth. Next up, we have phone thief. Everyone wants to own the latest cell phone, but not everyone wants to pay for it honestly, like these 2 ladies. In this phone store in Russia, 2 women inconspicuously walk in. They then walk up to a display shelf and appear to be checking out the phones. That's when the woman does a quick glance behind her and then simply grabs one right out of the case. I can't believe they don't lock these things, as she was able to just take it and leave. You heard me right, exactly after taking this phone, she got out of there. This isn't such an amazing trick as other videos we've seen and are going to see on this list. But I have to say, I cannot believe the woman just taking the phone like she owns the place. Next up is money trick. So this is a new and clever trick thieves all over the world are using. And it's basically a way to pay for expensive items with pennies. Check out this woman in a store. She suspiciously looks at all the cameras behind the counter. Then she pulls out a bill to pay for her items. As she's then fumbling around trying to get the correct coins, she puts the bill back in her purse. She then simply hands over the coins to the cashier and the cashier thinks that's all the money. This is a very creative, psychological trick that works all the time. You may wonder how this could ever work because it seems so simple looking at it from this angle, but it's simply all in the art of misdirection. Just to show you this wasn't one isolated instant, check out this other instance of this happening in India. This woman and her mother do the exact same trick and get away with it scot-free. It's funny, usually thieves are supposed to be very sneaky and not be seen. But here you're literally stealing from someone while looking directly into their eyes. Next up is tip. So, you may assume that thieves would steal items from stores. Well, some people just plain and simply steal their money. Some stores put out a tip jar for their employees to get some extra dough. If you're nice, you're supposed to put money in, and if you're feeling a little stingy that day, then you don't have to. But if you're feeling really mean, you steal the tip jar, much like what this guy did. This guy orders a coffee with milk. But when the guy behind the counter goes to put the milk in the coffee, the guy steals the tip jar. He was probably trying to be sneaky as he only took the cash and not the actual jar. But he made the mistake of taking all the cash and the cashier noticed instantly. The cashier asked for it back and the guy simply ran away. He didn't even take his coffee, he just ran off with the money. Who knows, maybe there was less tip jar money than what a coffee cost, so the guy still made a net loss. Either way, this was a very dumb thief who was caught on camera. But I'll give this cashier a tip. Put your tip jar further away from the counter. You never know what kind of bad customers could be coming into your store. Next up, we have the chair slide. So this is a very sneaky criminal and it goes to show that thieves are literally everywhere. This one takes place in a food court in a mall in Malaysia. There's a middle-aged man in a pink shirt sitting with a bag on the chair next to him. He's enjoying his meal and not paying attention to his surroundings. Well, he didn't expect that two very nasty people were sitting right behind him. As you can see, one of them very stealthily moves the chair with his bag on using his leg. He pushes it right over to him, amazingly not making any sound. The guy then grabs the bag, hides it under his table and walks off nonchalantly with his friend. I really can't believe the man didn't notice the chair next to him moving or making any noise. This just goes to show always be aware of your surroundings. It's sad to say, but videos like this prove you never know who may be out to take your things. Next up is distraction artists. So we all know one way to pull off a great heist is using distractions. It's what many people do, from bank robbers to professional magicians. Well, that's exactly what these women did in India one day. As you can see, there seems to be a group of 5 women, much like the 5-woman hustle we saw earlier on in this video. You've even got the one woman carrying the baby. This could be the same group for all I know. Anyway, these 5 women and the baby distract the store clerk. The woman on the left then steals some jewelry. The store clerk actually looks in her direction and you may assume she's been caught. But no, she did everything so quickly and with distraction that the guy didn't even notice. I'm not sure if these thieves do special training before trying this out, but I think these store clerks need to do some training in situational awareness. They seem to not pay attention to anything that's going on around them and that loses them a bunch of money. Next up, we have Baguette Up. You may assume that taking jewelry is easier than taking clothing. After all, jewelry is very small and you can put it in your pocket or scarf. But to steal a large item of clothing surely takes some more skill, right? Well, that's exactly what these 2 women did in a clothing store back in 2014. They talk to a store worker and ask her to get something for them. As she goes into the back to get it, they begin pulling things off the shelves and hiding them in their bags. It seems like a pretty obvious place to put something, but clearly not too obvious. If anyone asks what's in the bag, you could simply say you bought it at a different store. I have to say, these women are very cunning and sneaky, but they seem to not realize they were being filmed and caught on camera the entire time. Next up is jewelry shop. So it seems like the favorite thing to steal is jewelry. It's very small and easy to sneak into your pocket, and also you can sell it for a lot of money. One day, two women are looking at bracelets in their local jewelry store. The man is switching around so many trays and is very distracted. And there's even a man who's buying watches next to these women. I'm not sure if this guy was working with them as a distraction or if he was just a different customer. But either way, the man behind the counter is getting way too overworked and distracted. That gives one of these women the perfect opportunity to take one of these bracelets. She uses sleight of hand to sneak it into her bag very quickly. And the guy behind the counter was none the wiser until I assume he checked out the store's security cameras. It just goes to show, guys, if you work in a store, be sure to always be very vigilant. You never know who could be taking things. It could be a woman with a newborn baby, as we've already seen, or it could be a man asking for some extra milk in his hot cup of joe. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the best video of people being caught stealing on camera. I think it's the people who used the distraction, as they were very sneaky and skillful. If you guys want to see some more amazing videos, including tips on how to never be stolen from, check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.